Abus Magomedov ends up settling for the submission, so we have to rip up our knockout prop that I had at plus 220, and Miktat Bakarobai obviously facing a little bit more resistance than we expected it to. Rip up that decision prop at plus 150. And Magomedov Ankalaev, he was reliant on his striking, but credit to Rakic for eating the brunt of those shots and staying in the fight. And we have to rip up that KO prop at plus 250. And then probably one of the worst UFC debuts we've ever seen inside the cage, our long shot, Rafael Cerqueira by submission at plus 750, had not a prayer, not a chance in terms of cashing, considering his ability to just stay on the fence and allow his opponent to unleash big shots on him. Who has any idea what the fuck that guy was thinking and why he thought that was going to be a good game plan in terms of just eating shots and hoping that Aslan was going to Homer Simpson himself pretty much. Very, very bad look there. So not a good look for the three best prop bets in long shot last week. And let's see if we can reverse our fortunes here, as I have some pretty juicy props and a very hot take for my long shot that I'm sure is not going to get a lot of love. Actually, it's one of the three best prop bets as well. So let's get right into it. First one up is going to be Victor Henry by decision at plus 155. He is the underdog here, so taking him at plus 120, not bad idea as well. But I do think that he'll more than likely go out there, outpoint and outgrind Charles Jourdain, who's going to be looking to be successful in his first trip down to 135 pounds. Unfortunately, it's going up against a very tough, durable, and experienced Victor Henry, who has the perfect style to cause Jourdain a ton of trouble. Give me Henry by decision, plus 155. Now, the second best prop bet that I have for you guys is going to be the hot take one here, with Trevin Giles inside the distance at plus 385. Now, he's going up against a very tough Mike Malott, a very dangerous Mike Malott, a guy that's been putting away opponents pretty early in most of his matchups. But I do think that Giles is the best or second best fighter that Malott has ever competed against. Now, the durability issue of Giles is a concern, so I completely understand that, and I can understand the hesitancy from people trying to lock in on Giles here. In fear of him getting starched the way he did last time around against Carlos Prates. But we know sometimes durability shows up and sometimes it doesn't. But if it shows up this weekend, he should be able to utilize a superior striking style with his speed and agility, with that jab and 1-2 down the middle, and just putting a pace and pressure that Malott's not really comfortable with, allowing Giles to really run away with this matchup. And I think more than capable of pulling off a finish in the second or third round of this matchup. I'm going to get spicier in the long shot, so just stay tuned for that. The third best prop bet that I got for you guys is going to be Rose Namajunas by decision at plus 185. She goes up against Erin Blanchfield here, who is going to be looking to take Namajunas to the ground and stay away from the superior striking game of Namajunas. But I do think we've seen good enough defensive improvements from Rose in the past couple of fights, and I believe that will her to at least grinding out 3 or 4 of these rounds, of the 5 rounds that they are scheduled for, with more damage, better striking, good defensive work on the grappling side of things, and then from there really touch up Blanchfield and then win this fight on the scorecards. It's possible one of her head kicks lands and we end up getting a knockout here, but I do believe Blanchfield has some very good durability, and I think she's going to be very tough to put away, which should see Namajunas grind this fight out, like I said, outpointing Blanchfield and winning it on the scorecards. The third and final, well, actually, I already gave you my 3 best prop bets. Let's go with the long shot now, and this is probably the longest odds I've ever thrown into my long shots, but I just gotta go with my gut here. I feel very compelled to take this shot. So I'm going to slightly cheat here in the fact that I'm going to go with 2 long shots. We're going to go Trevin Giles submission round 2 plus 4,500 and Trevin Giles submission round 3 plus 5,500. Those odds are too good to pass up, especially considering we know that Mike Malott has a little bit of a cardio issue. If Giles, like I said earlier, can show up with his durability, he is capable of putting a pace on Mike Malott, and it would not at all surprise me to see Giles actually look to take this fight to the ground, where his BJJ black belt could come into play and allow him to get a submission victory here. He's been unable to do that in the UFC most often than not, getting his submission victories on the regional scene, but knowing that he wants to stay away from the big power of Mike Malott, he will be, well tuned to take this fight to the ground and really wear him a lot there, slow down Malad, wear on his gas tank, and then look for those submission opportunities. Malad is a very solid jiu-jitsu specialist in his own right, but most of that success comes from when he's in that top position. I don't think he'll get many opportunities for that, and even if he does, I think Jaws has a good enough defensive submission game that he should be able to stay out of too much trouble on the ground. It's just on the feet. If he can eat a few of those Malad shots, which will inevitably land, we'll see Jaws eventually start running away with this matchup in the second and third rounds, and I think his safest path to victory here, to not get clipped like he did against Carlos Prates last time around, is to take this to the ground and utilize his BJJ black belt, and that could prove fruitful here, even if you just take a submission prop at plus 1800 straight up, because it could potentially happen around round one, but I do think that we're going to need some wear and tear on Malad first before we see Giles look to get this to the ground and try to implement that submission game. So, like I said, long shot, Giles, sub round 2, round 3, plus 4,500, plus 5,500 respectively. There you guys go. 3 best prop bets and a long shot. Let's see if we can get this long shot, because I will be gloating about it heavily next week if that happens. Otherwise, I'll gladly eat crow in the comment section as you guys rag on me for taking Jaws and even taking Shore, which is not in any of my prop bets here, but I've obviously been hearing it about my Jack Shore pick as well. As long as one of them hit, I'll be happy. But I think both of them are more than capable of getting the job done as well. All right, that is a wrap on the Lock of the Night content for the week for this UFC Edmonton card. Reminder, there is ACA and Cage Warriors going down Saturday morning, of which I will have written breakdowns for those guys on the MMA LOT and Patreon page. Otherwise, I will see you guys next week to cover UFC Vegas 100, which is headlined by Neil Magny and Carlos Prates. I'll see you guys then. Peace.